Alright, YouTube. So we got a question that I'm going to answer here in the rain because it was supposed to be raining yet. Whatever. I got a question about boat life, or about standing watch doing the job. But it's more so boat life, which I've covered slightly in previous videos, like after my first underway, and things like that. This is going to be kind of informative. I'll try to, I'll just cut the video at 5 minutes if I can't crush this shit in 5 minutes. You bitch. Anyway, so being a submariner, your job involves you being on the fucking submarine. Boom. That's part one. Now, since you're going to be a new guy to the submarine, this is me talking directly to the person that asked the question, by the way. Since you're going to be a new guy to the submarine, if you go to a fast attack submarine, a 688, a Virginia, a Seawolf, whatever, or GN, no, not GNs actually, only 688 Virginias and Seawolves. Fuck, I want to say, I might be wrong, but only those. You will live on the boat. You live on the boat. You don't get a barracks room. You don't get any of that. You take all your shit. You go to the boat. And that's where you live. That's your home. So when you go home to sleep, you go to the boat. If you're on a Trident like me, you get a barracks room. And whenever you're not at sea, you go back to your barracks room. That's where you go to sleep. During the day, you go down to the boat to do work or whatever, or go to the office if the boat's out to sea and you're not on it, so on and so forth. So, fast forward, let's say you're now on your first underway. If you were on your first underway, you're more than likely, depending on rate, going to be a crank, and or what do they call them, FSA. You're going to be an FSA, because crank is the derogatory hazing term that we can't use anymore because of stupid shit. So all that means is your job then is going to be do qualifications in your free time, and when you're on watch, quote unquote on watch, you're going to be doing basically CS work. You're going to be cleaning the dining room, cleaning the decks, cleaning the dishes. That's going to be your job for at least 6 days, 6D days, 6-0. Ours went to 9-0 because fuck us. But yeah, at the very least, 9-0 or 6-0 days. Once you're done cranking, which is super easy, like don't complain about cranking, it's super easy. Once you're done with cranking, then you're going to go back to your division. And you're going to be put into the watch bill rotation, depending on what rate you are. So if you're a sonar tech, you'd be put into a sonar section. And whenever they go on watch, you're just going to go stand and watch with them. You're going to stand there and probably do nothing, maybe do some UIs, some under instructs to try to get qualified broadband. If you are already qualified broadband, you'll just be in that rotation. You'll probably iron ass it, which just means sitting there the entire 8 hours of watch. By the way, watch is 8 hours. Yeah, if that's all you're qualified, broadband, and everybody else is way more senior than you, you're probably going to be iron-assing broadband, which sucks, and you're going to fall asleep, and it's whatever. If you're an FT, you go do UIs, and you try to get qualified AFTOW, the assistant FTOW, and I'm not going to be able to do that 5-minute cutoff thing. But you go out, and your watch is in control, and you stand out there looking at the computers, and gathering the information that sonar is collecting on their sensors, and you plug it into the computers and the plots for whoever is in command of the boat at that time. The officer or deck is to read and make decisions off of. You talk to him, you're usually in direct conversation with the officers a lot when you're an FT on a Trident anyway. This is based on a Trident. If you are in nav division, you go back to nav. Either you go and you stand UIs with the nav watch, which is in a room, the nav center. I don't know what they do in there. I mean, I've never stood nav watch. You just sit in there, shoot the shit from what I've seen. Or you go do like quartermaster UIs, in which you go out and control, and you sit out there and you talk to the quartermasters and stuff like that. Now again, I'm only covering SECF rates because the question was about doing SECF's job. And you will get split when you go to BES, or Basic Enlisted Submarine School. You're going to get split into one of 4 categories: ST, FT, radio, nav. You are going to get one of those. You usually do not have a choice in which one you're getting. You get this fake dream sheet. You don't usually get the one you want. Whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. Alright, so let's go back to what we're talking about, nav. What also junior navs will do, or baby navs, you'll be called like a baby FT, baby ST, shit like that. What you do as FTs, as navs, and maybe as radiomen, is you will stand helms and planes and messenger, which means you just kind of sit there in control. If you're messenger, you just sit there in control and wait for somebody to tell you to do something. That's all you do for your 8 hours of watch. It's actually a pain in the ass from what I can understand, but It's mainly because you're not doing work. So you can just shoot out there, you sit out there and you talk and you shoot the shit. If you are helms or planes, though, you are now driving the submarine. So you control, you know, the up, down, left, right motion. And that'll be your job for those 8 hours, is staying awake and doing that. And I said specifically FT and nav, because sonar techs, the tradition for sonar is that we never sit those that position. We've never sat that position on my boat. They tried once to make one of the sonar techs do it. We lost our shit. We never let them qualify the actual watch station. All right, so that's like a basic overall of the jobs. What radio does is after you FSA, you go back to radio and they get you to qualify what's called ESM, and you become on-call ESM, which means whenever they need the ESM, it is your job to show up, which kind of sucks. On-call ESM happens every time we need to go to periscope depth, and I'm not going to describe this job because I don't know if that's like fucking secret or something, but every time we go to periscope depth, the ESM has to be there. So if you're asleep and we're about to go to periscope depth, they're going to come wake your ass up and make you come do it, and then you go back to sleep again. It's really annoying for that guy. It really sucks. My buddy was the ESM on the last underway. Really cool guy. I rarely got to talk to him in our free time because he was always dead tired. But yeah, once you get off ESM, then you go do like a radio watch or whatever the hell radio does in their little room of secretness. Like I said, that's a very general gist of what happens. Sonar techs, when you're on watch, you're sitting in a dark room looking at green screens, figuring out what these squiggly lines mean. Again, I'm not going to go into detail. If you want me to go into detail, ask, and I'll make a specific rates video all for them. But sonar, you're sitting in a dark room, shooting the shit with each other, or you're all dead tired, not saying anything, staring at the screens, trying to stay awake and poking each other, trying to keep each other awake, down in caffeine. FTs, you sit out in control on your computer looking at the sonar information and turning it into different information. Nav, you're either in nav center talking and shooting the shit or doing whatever your training and shit has to be, or you're the quartermaster and you're keeping track of where we're at, keeping us safe from like what mountains and things like that. You generally talk to the other navs that are out there with you. You don't really shoot the shit with the rest of control, maybe the FTs a little bit. And radio, if you're not the ESM, you're in radio. Like they have a room in radio, and you're just in there doing whatever the fuck you guys do, like breaking messages and making sure that the traffic, message traffic is going good, and writing up stuff to send to squadron and group and everything. And that's what you do in your room, I'm assuming. I know the least about radio because radio has the highest clearance, so they're the most secretness on the boat. Alright, so that's the general gist, guys, of what you are looking forward to as an SECF. Like I said, it's very general. It almost sounds boring. Sonar is boring. Standing there with no contacts, just kind of there, is extremely boring. And there's no way to lie about that. The FTs have a bigger crowd of people to always talk to, so, you know, they're always joking and whatever. So, yeah, that's the gist, buddy, of SECF. Again, for like the 8th time, if you're interested in a specific SECF rate, so that's ST, FT, nav, and radio, I will go talk to my friends in the other 3 rates, get more information from them, and then I'll make you a video about your specific submarine rate, about what goes on watch and shit like that. I could talk all day about sonar and the weird conversations about marry, kill, or have sex with, and you know, all that shit. This bike, dude, is out here. But yeah, sonar, you have some weird ass conversations in there, and that's just to keep each other awake. You're gonna play the movie game and shit like that, and that's just so that you need to stay awake and alert. And trust me, it's a lot harder than it sounds staying awake. Like, oh my god. But anyway, I think I've droned on enough about SECF and this here Navy life. Very informative one for once, right? Instead of just little titty bits. Actually gave y'all some real information about being on a submarine. So, for all you future sailors, people thinking about joining the Navy, or if you just want to know some weird shit about submarines or the Navy, feel free to ask in the comments, and I'll either make you a video like I just did, or I will go ahead and like type a fucking novel in the comments just for you, boo-boo. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Thank you for leaving comments if you want. Thank you for liking if you want. If you don't, you know, whatever. Do what you gonna do, boo-boo. You do you. I'm gonna do me. Just ride safe. Alright, guys? I'll see y'all next time.